Hey everybody, welcome back to the kitchen. Today is part 2 of the focaccia recipe, and hopefully I've pronounced that right. I've been pronouncing it wrong in all my videos, and Nadia is probably going to give me crap for pronouncing focaccia as focaccia. So anyways, I'll do my best to pronounce it right from now on. But part 2 tonight. Thanks for joining everybody. If you haven't already, make sure you do hit the thumbs up button, and for the regulars that are here, thanks and welcome. So we're going to do, we did yesterday, I posted on the channel part 1 of making the bread dough for this recipe. So if you haven't seen that yet, you can always head back afterwards if you want to make this, because it does take about a day to proof and this one proofs in the fridge. So we're at the second stage. It's been proofed overnight. It's been in the fridge for about roughly 24 hours. Gotcha. Yeah, I'm getting better. Thanks, Nadia. So it's ready to go for the next step. We've got the oven preheated to 450, and we are going to bake this today. So super easy. It's hot out. I don't know if picking today to bake bread was the best decision, but we'll get the oven on. Thankfully, this one only takes about 20 minutes, and then we'll cut the oven off, and because it's hot here too. So let's say hi to everybody and welcome. Because I think I saw Stephanie saying that it was, so we've got Stephanie here. Hey Stephanie, Mike's here. Hey Mike. And it looks like, Stephanie, I think you said it was hot, like 32, and it's been hot here. It's been like 30, 31 for the last couple days, and we're supposed to be hot until I think Monday. So, but thankfully for AC, put it that way. And Christine's here. Hey Christine. And Dean's here. Hey. So the crowd is all here. This would be, Christine will say that this would be a perfect day for Instant Pot. I'm going to actually, after the bread is done, I've got some chicken marinating. We're going to throw it on the barbecue and just have it with some of the bread, a little bit of potato salad that we had left over from lunch, and that's it. Just pretty simple stuff tonight. But the main show is the focaccia. I'm good at that now. And Mike's having canned beans. It is too hot to cook. I don't blame you for that. And Lucia's here. Hey Lucia. Hello. Put your name in there. Hello. And it'll be hot till it snows. So that's good. Let's show you what the stage we're at here with the bread. So basically what I've done, I don't know if anybody's following along. Let me know, but or if anybody's made this and doing it, but the recipe's all in the description, so super simple to follow. I've made focaccia before. It didn't turn out very well. This recipe I've tried. This is the second time trying this, and it was perfect. So thanks to Kelsey. I don't think she's watching. She's probably at work, but she was the one that passed on this recipe, and it's no-brainer that works. So there we go. And Liz is here. Hey Liz. So we got the bread. I've just taken it out of I took it out of the fridge I would say about an hour ago, just over. And actually I put it outside because outside's so warm, covered up. And it's just to let it come to basically room temperature. The proofing is basically done. And all I did is turned it over into a pre-oiled with olive oil baking tray. So we'll get it ready to go. I'm going to sneeze, excuse me. I've got a little bit of rosemary for it, and it's making me sneeze as soon as I took it out of the fridge. Okay, and Sam's here. Hey Sam, welcome. So Liz is here. Hey. And Sam's here. There we go. Bread's out. So basically it's on a olive oiled pan. Let me just wash my hands quick. So all you want to do after it's out is turn it over onto a pre-oiled pan, and then you're just kind of like stretching it out, pushing it out with your fingers to cover all of the pan. Now you want the dough. The reason you want the dough room temperature for this to pull it is because it just stretches better. And it's going to be about an inch thick on this. And I had it out about an hour, and it's obviously quite warm today, so it didn't take that long. If you're making this if it's cooler where you are, it will take a bit longer to come to room temperature, obviously, and kind of it does proof a little bit more. So we've got that there. What we're going to do is we are going to top this with a little bit of, I've got some fresh rosemary we're going to put on top. And I'm going to do some, on half of it, I'm going to try doing some really thin lemon slices. So lemon and rosemary. And then normally what you would have on focaccia would be like that heavy cracked salt. And you could sprinkle that on if you want to do that, but we've omitted the salt. So we're going to do the lemon and the rosemary. And Sam's here. Hey, yeah, this recipe is super easy, Sam. It's all down below, but yeah, super easy. So next step to get it ready, the oven's gone off, preheated 450. We want to make like basically dimples with our fingers all over the bread. Because what this is going to create is we're going to pour olive oil, and it's going to create little, you're just pushing it right down. You're not going through the dough, but just down into it. And then you want to sprinkle olive oil. Don't be afraid for a lot of olive oil. And it's basically going to go into all those holes. You need to kind of turn the pan a little bit. So it's going to be like little vessels for all the goodness. And then we're going to put some fresh rosemary. I'm going to put the rosemary across all of it. And just the sprigs. And if anybody has any questions, let me know. So Christine, sorry, you're looking for a side view. Oh yeah, okay, I can show you that for sure. It's kind of right up to the edge of the pan, so I'll show you. Let me just get the rosemary on. We made this the first time with half with rosemary, and then the other half with sliced, for Jason, he had sliced habanero peppers, and it was super spicy. So you can kind of put, you're kind of open to what ingredients you can put on top of here. Would be nice, would be really thin sliced onions. You could also put roasted garlic on top, would be nice. But traditional is like rosemary and then salt. On mine, actually, I put, when I made this the first time, if you watched on the channel, we did that tomato sauce with, we did the tomato sauce with the three ingredient tomato sauce that we did. And there's that onion you put in there, and you take the onion out after, you keep that. So I actually had that onion left over, and I sliced the onion that had cooked in the tomato sauce on the focaccia bread as well. It was really good. And let's show you the thickness here. Oh, so Sam, you missed the beginning. So the first part, I'll just show if I can, let's see the best way to show, hopefully. It's basically the thickness of the pan, Christine. Maybe show it this way better, but it's, a regular baking, it's a bigger baking tray, but it's right up to the edge. It's basically full. So hopefully that shows you kind of an idea how big it is. You definitely need a bigger pan for this one. And so Sam, back to your question, you missed the beginning. Because it takes so long to proof this one, I did it yesterday. This one proofs actually overnight in the fridge for minimum a night. You can actually leave it for 2 days as well, and it come out even better. So the first recipe, or the first half is on my channel. I recorded it, just mixing it up with the ingredients, and then you can see it all. Basically the instructions are all down below of this video too. But you can go back and see the first one, just the recording. And that's it, ready to go. I want to put really thin sliced lemon on half. And Dean, I think, you know what? Good question. I would say because it might get a bit too infused with I don't think the rosemary would be very good to put in the mix of the dough, just because you're not gonna, because on the top here after it's gonna cook and brown. I think if you have the whole rosemary in the dough cooking, it's just not going to cook. It's not going to cook properly. I think if it's all mixed in, I think you could maybe put some roasted garlic in if you were trying to do that. But you could always just put the roasted garlic in and then just kind of press it in at the end. I think it's going to proof better just leaving it as dough. That's probably the reason why. I'm not like a super baker, but I would say it's probably best to leave the recipe of the dough, and especially with baking, follow it as direct as possible. So to make sure it works. So I'm just going to do a few slices of this lemon. You want to have it kind of as thin as possible because you don't want to be eating a big hunk of lemon. I'm just going to try this. The recipe obviously doesn't call, but I've seen this on a bread before, and I think the lemon will be nice with the nice taste anyways on half. Let's put that there. A couple more slices. This isn't the best lemon. Starting to kind of, here we go. So half. We'll give it a try. And yeah, you could go all fancy, Liz, for sure, if you're ready to go. So that is ready to go in the oven. We're going to put it in altogether. I just had to look at my directions here. It takes about 15-20 minutes, I find. But we're gonna rotate it halfway through. So let's get it in the oven and start baking. It's going to start to smell nice. My oven's at 450. So we will keep an eye on things. After about, so let me know, we need a timekeeper because I'm always bad for starting to talk. So it's about almost quarter after. So let's say we'll check it at 5:25, but we'll turn it in about 10 minutes. So 5:20, we'll double check it and give it a turn in the rack, in the oven. And yeah, Christine's, it's probably a bit more than half an inch. If you've seen the pan that I use, it's not a really small, there's the pans you buy that are like the regular size baking tray. It's probably double that, I guess, would be the size. It is quite thick, like deeper than a regular thin cookie sheet. So it's probably, I would say 3/4 of an inch-ish. If you make this recipe, Christine, I just saw your comment on the zest. I know, I thought of that as soon as I put it in the oven as well. No zest. I thought it might burn in there, so left it whole. What was I saying? If you're making the recipe, so if you're following the recipe, it's with the flour, 6.5 cups of flour, 3.5 cups of water, a package of yeast, and 1/4 cup of olive oil in the mix. If you make it and you put it into the pan, it's once it comes to like the room temperature, and after you have it out of the fridge, it's the right thickness. You just have to stretch it out to fit your pan. If your pan is a bit smaller and you make it a bit thicker, stretch it out to the whole length of your pan. It'll just be thicker bread. It's still going to come up. We'll have a thicker bread. Or if you have a small, like half the size pan, you could half it. I think the recipe would probably half quite easily. The only thing you have to double check would be the measurement of the yeast that goes in there, because the prepackaged ones that I use was 7 grams, like just enough to put in for the batch. So it's sometimes easier just to do the whole batch, and then if you're baking it in smaller trays, cut it in half after it's proofed. Split it into two trays and bake 2. And yes, it will be good definitely with some cherry tomatoes on there too. You can also use, I know Nadia's mom had sent me a recipe for focaccia bread, and her recipe included canned crushed tomatoes. Stephanie, but drained. So all the liquid drained out of the crushed tomatoes, and then she would use the canned crushed tomatoes and put in there. So if you don't have fresh available, we can get kind of cherry tomatoes, I think, all year. But I think it would be nice. That's a good way to kind of use up some canned. So if you, especially maybe if you have canned tomatoes from your own garden, then that would be awesome. And yes, Sam, it is quite a sticky, it is quite a sticky dough. So you almost like once you have it mixed, you just put a little bit of like in the first step, you'll see when you do it, I put a little bit of olive oil into the bowl as well. And once that's on your hand, you kind of move it around and get it to proof. You almost mixing it all up mostly with a spoon. And then just the last little bit to kind of turn it in the pan. There's no kneading or anything like that. Just mixing in the bowl to get all the flour up. And it's, I guess the term would be shaggy dough. It's pretty moist. So. And Pam's here. Hey, welcome. I think you were here before. Maybe it was a different Pam we've been saying hi to the whole time. I don't know. Or maybe you have two accounts. And Christine. Pickled kale. I don't know about that. I don't know if he's watching tonight. If Jackson is here, if he's watching, he's a big kale fan. He would know if you can make kale. If you check out, Christine, check out, here, I'll put it in the chat. This is his Instagram. Check out his Instagram, because he does a lot of cooking on his stories. And if there's a now, there we go. That's weird. I have to go. I think you can hear me now, hopefully, but I don't know if I'm on the built-in microphone. The sound might not be the greatest because I have to use my laptop mic. So let me know in the comments if you can hear me. Hopefully, it's showing me that it's working. Maybe working. No working. Oh, Sam says yes. So hopefully it's working. The sound might not be the greatest. I don't know. I don't know what the issue was, but my batteries are working, but who knows? Okay, as long as you can hear me. So I got to check the focaccia. I was busy yapping getting this thing fixed. So thanks for letting me know. Everything should work. Let's do a, before we turn it, I'll give you a quick look. It's good you can hear it. I'm just going to turn it around. I'm going to let you. I'm gonna let everybody wait actually before I show it, because it actually looks really good and it's smelling really good. We'll wait till it's nice brown on top. So it's about half. It probably needs about 10 more minutes or so. I always say the time, but it's never the right time. We'll keep an eye on it. Yeah, I don't know why my mic stopped working. Weird. I actually don't know why that would stop. Must be an issue with YouTube or something. It seems to be working fine off of that. I don't know. I forgot, and I forgot what I was mentioning when you said there was no sound. I think maybe go back. Pickled cabbage. You got his Instagram, so check him out. No pickles, no kale. Everybody lost sound, and I think we're back. Yeah, tech fail. That's all right. And Sam's got some beet sauerkraut. That sounds really good. And we can hear me and thumbs up. So there we go. And Viso's here. Hey, welcome, Viso. Yeah, we're baking focaccia if you're just tuning in, Viso. Part 2. And it's almost ready. I really need to get an oven cam. But the problem is you need another camera. So. But you know what? I didn't ask what everybody's... Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? That's good. So I was talking about a YouTube channel and cooking stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I'm lost. Anyways, we're back. We're back to the old. It's like the old style of mic. It's starting to smell. It's starting to smell really good in here. I can smell the rosemary cooking, and I can smell the lemon starting to cook. So that's a good sign. Nothing like the smell of fresh bread, especially when it works. And oh, maybe I was talking about making bread, because this bread is tough. I mean, I'm not a baker anyways. I've been baking such an art, and this recipe is perfect for me and for people that don't like. I don't say I don't like baking. It's just I find it harder than cooking, just because you have to measure everything, and it's just a science. It's too precise. But the recipe for this one, the ingredients, it's so minimal, and you literally put everything in one bowl and then put it into the fridge to proof. You don't have to. I know with other breads you have to start the yeast and you have to knead it and you have to do like a whole bunch of steps. This is literally mix everything, put it into the fridge to proof for a day or two, bring it out, poke it on a pan, get it into the oven, and it starts cooking. So it's such a simple recipe. So oh yeah, Viso, my name's Scott. I guess, yeah, maybe you didn't know that. Anyways, yeah, hey, I should do that in the intro. Hey, it's Scott, but that's me. And I could put fresh lemon zest on the bread when it's ready, Christine. You could also put a little bit of fresh grated Parmesan cheese would be nice on there before we bake it too. Like bigger grated cheese would be nice. Kind of limitless. Roasted garlic. I should have probably roasted some. I don't know if Dean's still watching or not, but we're cutting down on the garlic. We've used some of it, but I need to roast some off still. So I could have roasted some garlic off. and then put that on too would be good. Lots of toppings. And I don't know. So Mike's still saying you can't hear. Showing that it's working for me. So I'm not sure. Maybe if I turn around, it doesn't work. Because I'm using the microphone on my computer laptop, not the camera. So I think that's maybe why the sound, if I turn around, the mic doesn't point to me, unfortunately. Which is weird. Oh, okay. Yes, I can. Hopefully that helps. Maybe. Yeah. Changed mics. Technical difficulty. So hopefully that sounds better now, because I've got the built-in microphone sound up higher. Should be good. The one I normally use, I have to turn the sound down a little bit because it picks up more. Oh, this is looking really good. So Hollywood. Oh, was it me for an Emmy? Yeah, I think I'm a ways off for that, Stephanie. That's too funny. This is the first time we've had technical difficulties in a while, so that's okay. That's always a good sign. Knock on wood. That this is only the first one out of, like, we're a number. I don't know. I'd have to go back and count now. I stopped counting after we did the 50th. Must be close to 60 or more now. And Mike's got to be pulling my leg, saying he can't see me. Who knows? I don't know, Mike. If you can't see me, you can't see me. I'm cooking bread, making dinner, so that's okay. That's too good. And vacation couple. Hey, welcome back. You can smell the rosemary and lemon. Yes, it smells really good. Hopefully you can hear me. We're having technical difficulties. Yeah, that reminds me. Hey, Christine, that's right. We had a good moaner of a recipe for Stephanie. You missed out. That Marcella Hazan's bolognese sauce. That was awesome. Check that out if you haven't. The cookbook. Oh, it's in my room. But the cookbook's been awesome. We've tried 3 recipes out of that cookbook, and 3 for 3 have all been great. So I'm looking forward to trying some more. Let's see if this is how this is doing. Let's give you a sneak peek, because it's going to have to go in, I think, a little bit longer. Let's just take a look here. Yeah, it needs to get a bit more color, but there is a sneak peek. There we go. So it needs probably about, I'd say, about 5 more minutes. We're going to get a nice browning on top. It's starting to kind of brown on the. It's just starting to brown on the edges of that. So, and yeah. So after all the recipes, if they're good, I'll send Nadia a picture of the empty dish, and the ragu did not last very long at all. I had 2 helpings. Jason had 2 helpings, and I had a little bit left over for lunch the next day, and it was gone. It was good. I would definitely make that recipe again. It would be nice with this bread as well. We made it with the rigatoni. Yeah, that was good. I don't know what I'm going to do next from that book. There's so many good recipes, and they're all fairly simple. Basic kind of like home style meal, Italian meals, which is really good. So I'll pick one. We'll do it next time. I have to try and find a summer, kind of more of maybe a lighter one to try. And yeah, a picture of the second helping after the show. It didn't last long. Oh, okay, there we go. Thanks, Christine. Checking that. So this is number 57, if we count the dinner cooking and not the other ones. Yeah, so I've been doing more. I mean, we're still doing the lives, right? 3 days a week, and obviously with everybody, it's summer, right? Everybody's doing other things, so it's great that everybody's joining me when they can for this. We're still carrying on. We've got people watching and chatting, so that's awesome. Less than before, obviously, because people are getting out more, which is great. That's the main thing. So we'll keep going. I have to eat anyways, so we might as well cook it. But I am starting to do, like Christine said, I got the AeroGarden cooking. We'll get the herbs going for that. So I'm doing the updates for that in the morning. It's kind of fun to see where everything grows because I kind of check that out. And then I've been doing some shorter kind of cooking, different cooking spices, unpacking, just kind of whatever to kill the time because I'm at home. So why not? We went to the spice store last weekend, picked up some more spices because I needed something for the recipe on the Monday, and then ended up spending far too much money on spices. But so just videos like that. So if you're new and if you're watching this as a recording and you want to check out some other stuff on the channel, I got some other stuff going. So it's always good. And thanks Viso for the AeroGarden. Yeah, it's kind of fun. It's kind of neat to see. I'm surprised how fast everything is growing. Well, it's been 2 weeks, but like it's crazy. And I'm yapping away. I better be checking this bread. Almost. Oh, my mom's here. Hey, Mom. Welcome. We're finishing the bread. I think it's almost done. It's in the oven. This is like step part 2. So yesterday I posted a video. I don't know if you saw it on the channel, but I made the dough for the bread and it's been proofed overnight. And then now today we are baking it. We're gonna have it for dinner. So I'm just doing the second part, which is almost finished. I'm just going to turn off my mics because I don't think these ones aren't working while we wait for the bread. Or maybe that's all I had to do is restart them. We'll see. So, but thanks, Mom. And you can always catch the replay if you missed there we go. Yeah, it's not working it's just working with the built-in microphone today. Tech glitch. Let's see what we got here. Oh, it's almost there. So it's been about 22 minutes. So my oven I find is a little bit lower. I think it's a little bit low on the temperature than what it actually says. So you have to kind of adjust the time because the recipe that I printed out, it does say it only says actually 15 minutes, which even on the one that even at the one that I made the other day, it took a bit longer. So I think my oven is a little bit less. So when you are making this, double check just the time a little bit. You may have to adjust it up depending on your oven. If you have a convection oven, then you'll probably be right on 15. I would assume. Yeah. Drinking lots of water because it's so hot. Let's see. Oh, steaming. I'm gonna give it. I'm still gonna give it a few minutes because it's not quite browned all the way across the whole sheet. So I'm gonna leave it closed. Let me just see what the temperature's at. It doesn't tell me. I should really get a thermometer for inside so I can actually see. Yeah, we want it like, that's right. We want it like a nice golden brown on top. Mm-hmm. So it'll be almost like, we'll show you, it'll be almost kind of like hard, crunchy, because the oil's on there, right? It gets kind of crispy on top, crispy on the bottom as well, Stephanie, and then inside's nice puffy and soft. That's the goal, anyways. Yeah, I need to check the oven because it just doesn't seem like 450 is like I imagine 450 being like super smoking hot, but it's never super. When you open it up, you don't feel like super hot. So I should get you can get those little thermometers, Viso, that go inside that hang on the rack. So I just check it out to see where it is, and there might be a way to adjust the temperature calibration somehow. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. It's an electric oven, and I think maybe like maybe the elements start. I don't know. Maybe the element needs to be replaced, but I don't know. So when it is ready, though, what you would do is bring it out, and you would place it onto a baking rack. I don't have not being a big baker. I don't have a lot of baking stuff. So what I found works kind of well is what I do is just kind of roll a couple of towels to place the tray on, and that's just so the air can kind of circulate a little bit better around it, just so it will cool off a bit better. And then we'll let it cool for a little bit, and then we'll take it out of the pan, and we'll try a slice to make sure that it how it tastes. Oh, and Jet's out with that's nice. Jet's out in the hose. So my mom's dog, Jet, the lab, she loves to chase the water from the hose in the heat. She would do it all day if she had the opportunity to do it. I've got some pepper I was gonna grate on it, but my pepper mill is empty. So let's crush some pepper up while we're waiting for the last little bit for it to cook. I wanted to sprinkle some peppercorns on the top. Yeah, there's some videos. That's a very good question. This would be really good. We're gonna make it with some chicken tonight, Christine, on the side, barbecue chicken. But yeah, you could do it definitely once with that, with some olive. You almost don't need any olive oil for this fresh stuff because it's got a little bit on it. Quite oily tasting. And then, but if you had some balsamic, absolutely you could put that on. That'd be very good. When it's warm, you can actually just kind of have it by itself. It's actually really good. And it's still a little bit warm. That's good. That's just a little bit of peppercorn. I'm gonna sprinkle on top. Let's take a look. Oh, there we go. Let's see here. So when it's ready, it's gonna have you can almost, I don't know if you can hear, you might not be able to hear that, but that's looking good. So we're gonna let that cool for a little bit, and then we'll turn it off. Let me see. It might stick a little bit on the edges. You want to go around because the oil. I didn't necessarily get the oil right to the edge on the edges, but that will do. We're gonna let it cool before we take it out of the pan. And it would be good with truffle oil. Yes, excellent. Oh, and hey, Natal, welcome. I think it's your first time here. Welcome. I'm gonna turn off the oven so I don't forget to cool this place off. Yeah, truffle oil would be good. Christine, you wouldn't want to put the truffle oil on. I think you wouldn't want to bake it with it. Keep it with the olive oil. Obviously, truffle oil is more expensive, so you don't need much. But you could maybe drizzle a little bit prior to cooking. But I think it'd be better off on the side after, for sure. I'm just gonna put that one while the oil is still hot, just to kind of get some cracked pepper in there. There we go. And it smells good. Profile. Sorry, I don't understand what you mean. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, one sec here. Like the side. I think you mean the side. So it pops up a little bit, Christine. I think that's what you meant. Once I can get it out, I will. It's still a bit hot, but we're gonna take some and we'll cut it so we can do a taste in a minute here. There we go. Gotta let it cool. Scraping around so it doesn't stick, and then we'll turn it out of the pan. I probably could have put a bit more oil on the bottom of the pan, but we're good. And then we'll cut some. And Sam, yeah, it looks good, and it smells good. It smells good too. So let's once it's cooled enough, I'll give it a taste. But it's still a bit hot to get out of the pan. You'll probably want to have it once it's baked, or you can let it cool for. It probably take a good half hour or more before you can really get into the pan, off the pan. But we'll move things along just to at least give it a taste on one of the corners before, so you're not waiting for half an hour with the focaccia. I think I pronounced it right, and maybe Nadia, you can correct me. I think I did pretty good for the whole show with the pronunciation. Oh, I never. That sounds really good. I was Stephanie. We visited the Zoetry in Punta Cana. Jason, I think, did he stay there? We didn't have. I don't remember the cart, but that's not to mean it doesn't exist, and probably is amazing. But this would be really good with the oil cart for sure. This will last. You'll want to use it up fairly quickly. I find fresh bread that you're baking doesn't last as long as something you would normally buy in the store, because there's no preservatives or anything in it, right? So this will last a couple days. So it is quite a bit, obviously. For you might want to take half, and you could always freeze it, or just be prepared to be having sandwiches for a couple days for every for lunch and dinner. We'll make with this as well as do like tuna salad sandwiches is really good with this bread. The next day you can also, if you're grilling something up on the barbecue, take the bread and cut it in the size you want. Cut it in half as well, and then you can grill it on the grill of the barbecue. Is awesome, and then you can have that open faced with some chicken or like a steak sandwich, that kind of stuff. It's super versatile that way in terms of what you can do with it. And habanero oil. We have habanero oil, Christine. So we're going to be having some of that for sure with it. Let me cut some of this. It is hot. It's got to cool. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a little bit off, give it a taste, just so we can do the taste test while we're live here, and then we'll let it finish cooling when it's done. So it'll come off the pan once it's cooled a bit more. But I'm going to cut a little corner off, just the end piece, just to so we do the taste test, like so. And then we'll just let the bread cool the rest of the way on its own. You know what I can probably show you, Christine, though, is how thick it is on there. So that maybe gives you a good idea on the thickness of the bread. Yeah. So let's cut this up. Still a bit warm, but it's going to be good. This was the lemon size. It should taste a little bit. It should taste a little bit lemony. Let's give it a taste here. Okay. Yeah, you can probably see it steaming still a little bit, so it's going to be warm, but can taste a hint of the lemon for sure. It does need what it does need, because we're having it plain, is a little bit of balsamic vinegar, just to give it a bit of tang, which is always nice because I'm eating it plain. Yep. There's the moan with the vinegar. So good. If you're serving this on the side, here, what you can do is a little bit of vinegar, but also some olive oil, like so. It's nice with cracked pepper as well. And also, there'll be no mini. You'll get a moan in a second. Some parm is always nice. So if you're serving that with guests, you can always put that out on the side plate instead of butter. That's what tastes. That part tastes good. So we'll taste this. I'm sure you're gonna get a moan out of this. I could eat. There's a moan, mini moan, I guess. I could eat like half of this tray with oil and balsamic vinegar. That's the lemon one. Super tasty. Half-hearted moan. It's good. Something like fresh bread. Yeah, I can't make up the moan, but this is tasty. But like I said, I could eat half the like half the tray, and yeah, it looks good. I'll send you a picture of the empty tray as soon as it's gone because it's super tasty. So there we are, homemade focaccia bread. I think I said it right the whole time. I won't say it again, just in case. But thanks for joining me, everybody. It was kind of fun. Hopefully, everybody will decide and try and actually make this. If you're not a baker, I'm not a baker. This is the easiest recipe for focaccia I have ever found. After trying a couple, this is the one that I go back to make. So hopefully, you'll try it out, and you can't go wrong with it. And if you do make it, let me know. Come back and leave a comment or send me a message on Facebook. It's always good to hear when people have tried the recipes and what they thought of it. If you need to see part one, all the ingredients are down below and all the directions are down below this video. But if you need to see part one of how to mix it, it's on the channel. You can check it out. That's it, everybody. We did another one. So that's Wednesday. I'm gonna go put some chicken on the barbecue. We're gonna be having this with some nice barbecue chicken, and hopefully you have a great dinner as well. So thanks for joining. Thanks for all the thumbs up. Thanks for all the conversation as always. Thanks to all the new people that came. It's always kind of neat to see some new people join the channel. And if the new people are still watching and you're not subscribed, we do regular live streams. So make sure you subscribe and turn on the notification bell. That's it. we'll end and we'll see you on the next one. Take care, everybody.